You have a lot of veterans that, they've been through the system, they've tried different treatments, they've tried therapy, they've tried some things that are, a little bit outside of the box, similar to TWC. And when they came to TWC and the retreats, this was their last resort. And, if you can see those people go through this process and then thrive, then I think that that's enough evidence for me that, this is something that works and it's something that's helping people. My name is Scott Jensen. I served in the United States Marine Corps, and I was in the Marines for 5 years. In addition to seeing a lot of friends who were affected by a lot of the things that they encountered during their service, I also had a few incidents that left me traumatized, and I was treated for several years for a lot of different symptoms. Finally getting a PTSD diagnosis not that long ago, actually. So, it's been very personal, both within myself and also within friends and colleagues. So I think that my journey at the facilitator training was very much like what the veterans go through in a TWC retreat. Flew into Pittsburgh, met a bunch of people I didn't know, drove out to the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain. Really I'd only had just a couple of Zoom calls with most of the people except for the executive director. I was introduced to a group of people that, really cared enough to, make this a part of their life and give their time to, to go through the facilitator training. But, I was brought to go together with this group, and, like I mentioned before, we went through a lot of the exercises that you go through on a retreat. So that in itself was very profound. I got to see firsthand how, things work. As Aaron likes to say, the secret sauce, or how we make the soup. And so, that was profound in me, and that, brought up a lot of things from my military history that I hadn't really thought about in a long time. I got to see some other folks process some very difficult things. For me, I walked away from the facilitator training both changed by the things that we did and that we saw, but also bonded with the group that we were together, which I think is also a huge part of the retreat format, in that, you go and you meet people, a lot of people that you've never met before, and, you bond over the course of days through sharing your own story and hearing their stories and supporting them. And I still keep in contact with most of those people to this day. And, this is something that, it works, and it works in a short time. And it works a lot better than, a lot of the pharmacotherapy that I see where, people are really just kind of kept on drugs and symptoms are treated. And it goes down to the root cause, and it gives people a way that, they can, work through the invisible wounds of war that are still being carried with them, and find ways to grow and find ways to, experience, a newness in their life that is truly needed in order to get over post-traumatic stress. What TWC does is very special to me. It's something that I've seen success with our graduates. It's something that I felt going through the facilitator training. And I think it's something that people need to do more of. One of the things about the VA is it's always pretty slow to picking up new treatment methods and modalities. And I think the more organizations that have the right goals in mind, which is, it's treating veterans and it's helping them, and, creating a safe space where, veterans can process and making sure that they're taken care of after all the processing, the more of these types of community groups that pop up, the more supported our veteran population is going to be as a whole.